Hey, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. This time I want to go over some of the cards that, in my opinion, are the best ways to counteract or counterplay Storm. So I think this is an important video to make because I know a lot of people are getting really fed up with the Storm issue, especially at the local scenes. Like one of my friends' locals, actually, they're converting one of their local nights to a casual night because of Storm and because of people dropping off because they don't want to play against it. And I totally am all for a casual night. I think that's like really cool. But at the same time, like I'm really disheartened by people that want to quit the game because of Storm being a thing. Trust me, guys, I'll be the first person to say I'm not a huge fan of this metagame. I think it's very stale. I think Storm is a pretty broken deck. I mentioned this in previous videos, but I don't think one card's particularly broken. But I do think it's a combination of just really strong cards that shouldn't be allowed to interact with each other realistically. But it is part of the game right now. And I think what a lot of people kind of forget is that the game is very new, guys. The game is barely a year old. It's barely an infant, guys. Like it's a growing game. It's going through growing pains. Of course, there are going to be formats that not everybody likes. It seems as though the wide majority of people don't like this format, which once again I'm totally in agreement with. But I think it's worth it to stick it out with this game because I've seen great things from the Bandai development team personally. Like myself being at events, I've had great interactions with them, and it does give me hope for the future of this game. And I think it's worth sticking around even through a bad format like this, a stale format like this. So I want to go through this video. I want to talk to you guys about good cards that can counter Storm. So this way, at your local scene, you can be as well informed as possible when you want to go up against a Storm deck. So we'll just get right into it, guys. So I want to preface this by saying a lot of the successful counter Storm decks are ran by the Ssp Goku Leader. This leader is in and of a problem of itself, but it is a very strong leader if you are looking to purely combat Storm. It's one of your best bets to go to, but I challenge you guys to take these card choices that I'm about to give you and experiment them with your favorite leaders. You know, like all these cards are rather generic for the most part, and I really challenge you guys to get to theory crafting with your favorite leaders and your favorite decks, utilizing these cards to give yourself the best shot of beating Storm. I would love nothing more than for you guys to take your rogue decks that you are dedicated to and that you love and take them and stomp out Storm. That would make me so happy. It's very possible, guys. Look at Marcel Russell, got top 16 with Iron Vow Trunks. Who would have thought with Iron Vow Trunks? It's very possible, guys. Just learn your deck, learn how to beat Storm. These cards can help you out. Alright, so we'll get right into it. So for overwhelm utility, Mass Sand is a really good card against Storm. So if you survive the onslaught with a combination of all these other cards, Mass Sand is going to allow you to clear a board full of Gotens and Videls and potentially like Bardocks if they have them on the board. So it's going to help you just clear a board and reset the advantage, because if they don't have all those swingers to hit you with, they're going to be set behind some. And a lot of this is also important when Fluke goes to 1-2. And when Fluke goes to 1, they're not going to be able to bounce those Gotens back to hand to protect them. So Mass Sand is going to be pretty important whenever Storm is a prevalent deck. Then we have the card that is probably very potentially the best card to counter Storm on this entire page, and that is Senzu Bean. Senzu Bean is just an insane card against Storm. Senzu Bean almost guarantees that your opponent playing Storm will just like end their turn immediately. But just one Senzu Bean on your leader when Storm is trying to onslaught you, it's just a 5k combo on like every single attack. It's so good because they're going to combo up to every single attack and waste more and more cards. And if you can win the resource game against them, you'll grind them out and you'll kill them. Mostly Storm decks, if they can't kill you in turn 2, turn 3, they lose a lot of steam. That's where you can get back in the driver's seat and really get in there. And then we have Group Leader Pilaf. This is a really good card. It's actually pretty techy. It's like low-key, but not low-key at the same time. So Group Leader Pilaf, what it'll do is it's a counter attack. Doesn't negate the attack, keep that in mind, but it's still really good. So you play this card when an opponent battle card attacks, then choose one keyword skill of the attacking card and negate it for the duration of the turn. So what you want to hit with this is the 1-drop Bardock. So you want to, when they swing with their Bardock, you Group Leader Pilaf, you negate their swap for the duration of the turn. Their plays really stagger from there unless they have another Bardock to go into, but even then their plays just get really weird. So Group Leader Pilaf is a really good card to fight off the Storm. Then we have Mafuba. Mafuba serves a similar purpose kind of to Group Leader Pilaf, where you can Mafuba the Bardock so that either they can't swap it into a Goten or they can't evolve it. It's also good for staving off their big hits if that's the negate you have in your hand at the time. It is a little weird just because it does cost 2 energy, so even in SS3 that 2 energy investment can be a little bit steep, so be mindful of that when you're going to use Mafuba, but it can be very clutch, and it's also good in other matchups as well. Then we have Mai here representing all the free blockers in the game. The free blockers are actually really good against a lot of the aggro decks. They do give the aggro decks a headache because not many of them can really afford to run removal in the main board. And they usually don't run on the sideboard either because it's just all gas trying to kill you on turn 2, turn 3. So the free blockers are really good against the storm decks, the aggro decks. So if you can fit them in your deck, whether your leader allows you to play free blockers or one of your main deck cards allows you to play free blockers, I strongly recommend it. Then we have the Ultimate Judgment Jaakko. This card's not seeing too much play right now, but it is a good option against Storm, mainly because it's essentially colorless. It is a blue, so if you're playing blue, you can charge it for blue. But if you're playing a different strategy that's either monocolor of not blue or 2 other combinations of other colors, Jaakko is essentially a colorless card that allows you to bounce your opponent's combos back to their hand. So this way, it basically becomes a 15k combo for free, which is pretty solid when Storm's trying to all in on you. This is especially good on the attack where they're trying to put you from, let's say, like either 3-2 or 4-2. You know, they're gonna put a lot of pressure in on that swing to get you down to 2. And if you can alleviate that, you're gonna have a really good game, because then they're probably not gonna be able to pressure you down to lethal that turn anymore. Especially because they're gonna pump a lot into it, like maybe a 45 or 55k. But if you have super combos on top of a Jaakko, you have a very good shot of potentially comboing out of that. Then we have Awe-Inspiring Vegito and Trio Dangerous Bergamo. So these 2 cards both basically say the same thing. When they're in rest mode, your leader is basically safe. Bergamo is a little less safe, I guess, because your opponent's leader can still attack your leader, but your opponent's leader isn't usually what's going to be going for game on you. Vegito purely just says that your opponent can only attack your battle card. So both of these guys are really good at protecting your life. They essentially make your leader 20k. Bergamo has the added ability of gaining 5k every single time he's swung at, which is really solid. And Vegito has the ability of gaining barrier while in rest mode, so he cannot be removed from the board by removal. So if your Storm opponent wants to side into like Dimensional Banisher Fu or Mass Sand, something like that, they cannot remove Vegito with that. But if you're banking on them not playing removal, then Trio Dangerous Bergamo is also a very solid pick, because it'll just keep getting bigger every single time they swing at it. So real good pick there for counter aggro as well. Then we have some green cards. So Full Power Energy is a really good negate in a sense. It's kind of weird. So you're really never going to get like full value off Full Power Energy if you're playing against a good Storm player. So what happens is, like, when you're showing a green open, a lot of good Storm players are not going to swing at the Bardox because they don't want to get their Bardock blown up, because they want to swap. The cool thing there is, though, it alleviates like 4 to 5 attacks on you for a whole turn, which is really cool. As long as you're showing a green, your opponent usually won't swing with the Bardox unless they have to. And if they have to, then you have the Full Power Energy to blow up anyway. But yeah, it'll alleviate a lot of pressure from you just to present a green. Even if you don't have the Full Power Energy in your hand, just showing the green can actually be very beneficial to you. And then we have a Speedy Surprise Attack. This is exclusive to Android leaders, but it serves a similar purpose. But this can actually kill Gotens, which is really good, especially in this Flute at 4 meta. Kill the Goten. They want to bounce it back to hand with Flute to play the Bardock again and do shenanigans. They can't do it because they just lost their Bardock. So really good card. Then in some decks, in combination with FPE and Speedy Surprise Attack, we had the Cell Chain. So the Cell Chain is actually really devastating against Storm. It actually is a little bit dependent on being able to go first and get the advantage on energy. But if you can resolve the Cell Chain on a Storm player, you're almost always going to win. Like, it's literally a resource game, and the only way they can kill you is with a large amount of resources. So if you can stall out the game with your free blockers, if you're playing the Android leader, with your Speedy Surprise Attack, with your Full Power Energies, and you can drop the Cell Chain successfully on turn 3, you're going to be in a really good spot. Then we have a couple of red cards actually that don't really see a whole lot of play, but I think they're pretty decent against Storm Onslaught. So Unending Awakening, what it does is, if your leader is a red sand, you can negate an attack, and then you give your leader a 5k bump for the turn. So this is mostly going to be relevant in decks like Pan, so where you're playing a red sand leader. So you negate the attack for 1, so you stave off an attack for 1 red energy, and then you give your leader a 5,000 power boost. This is really similar to Senzu Bean. The only issue is it doesn't untap more energy, it actually taps down in energy. But if you're playing defensively against aggro, you should leave a lot of energy up anyway to defend. Try and make your plays in the mid-range game after your opponent has kind of lost a lot of steam. So well-placed Unending Awakening can serve a similar purpose to Senzu Bean. You just got to be a little bit more careful with your energies, but it can be a very devastating card against the deck. Then we have Revenge Death Ball. So this is a Baby Leader exclusive card. A lot of people like Baby to fight off aggro. So what it does is, if your leader card is a red baby, it gains 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards. It loses 15k power for the duration of the turn. So in Baby Leader, this is essentially a 25k combo, guys. It's actually really nuts that this is a 25k combo for 1 red energy. and it has the added bonus of potentially killing a battle card. So if you guys don't know this ruling, it's a really good ruling to know. Your opponent can attack with, let's say, like a Goten. They can combo like as much as they want to it. They can combo like, let's say they comboed up to 70k. If you play Revenge Death Ball and you choose your opponent's Goten to decrease by 15,000, that Goten will still be KO'd by game mechanics, because that combo power has not yet been added to its total attack power. So when Revenge Death Ball is deducting 15k from it, it's deducting 15k from its base power, which is 10,000. So it reduces it to 0, and then that Goten is dead and the battle is immediately over. So you just like made them waste a bunch of cards, and you killed the Goten for 1 card, which is really good. And now we come to the yellow cards. So the really funny thing is that Storm is like really good at countering itself, and one of the best ways it does that is by playing Nimbus. So you can play Nimbus in your Storm deck to counter Storm. You can play Nimbus in your mid-range blue-yellow deck, or whatever color yellow deck you want to play. Nimbus is a really good card against the Storm onslaught. You just got to be careful for that bad ring laser, though. When they're showing a yellow, it might not be the best time to Nimbus. It might not be the most appropriate thing to Nimbus on their first swing. Some Storm players will attack with their leader first to bait you into Nimbusing when they have a yellow up, because you're thinking, oh, well, they're attacking with their leader first. I'm going to negate the leader attack, then they're going to get 1 swing with the rest of the turn. But if they have that bad ring laser, it's going to be really bad for you. So you want to make sure you take advantage of the opportunities where they don't have a yellow up and then Nimbus there. Then we have everyone's favorite boy, Unwavering Solidarity, Shugesh. So I've actually been doing a lot of playtesting, playing the Storm deck with Flute at 1, and I've been playing against some Shugesh decks, and playing against a Shugesh deck as an aggro Storm deck is like beating your head against a brick wall. When they can Shugesh something into play that blows up your attack you're trying to go for lethal with, it's incredibly devastating. After you learn that that's what they can do, you can almost never swing with a battle card for game. It's really scary unless you know they've gone through all their Shugeshes. So playing a Shugesh deck is really a decent pick against Storm, especially at the local level. But even at the regional level, people are starting to cut Cronoa from the sideboard. So it could actually be a really opportune time to get a deck with Shugesh back into the game and sneak either a locals win or a regional top with it. Right now could be a very good time. Shugesh is probably in a very good position right now, as more and more people see Shugesh decks less. They cut Cronoa from the sideboard more and more, and it could be a really good time to implement a strategy with Shugesh right now. So yeah, everybody, there are several cards that you guys can use to counter Storm. A lot of people in major tournaments have been having success with these cards. I will say again, they do usually come with the Super Saiyan 3 Son Goku Leader at the head of the deck, but I really do challenge you guys to be experimental. Play the decks that you guys like, play decks that you guys enjoy, and if this isn't the format for you, that's okay. Play at your local scene. Don't let this game die, especially if you do truly love this game. The format is going to change. It's just inevitable. Storm will not be the top deck forever, and I think that's something people are kind of starting to forget. So definitely keep playing this game if you do truly love this game. I really challenge you to take your favorite leaders, implement these cards, use some of the strategies that I talked about, and do your best to keep winning locals and curb stomp Storm. Please do it for me, guys. Do it for me. So with that being said, my name's Joey. This is Crossfit TCG. Hashtag Shenron, make Storm go away. I'll see you next time.